Indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. I think Reddit is actually working first try. What a surprise. What a welcome one at that. Thank you, dear friends, for joining me again. Man, there's a lot of stuff happening in the ether right now. Jovan, first, you're first, Jovan? You're first? I thought it was Shannon for a second. So nice to have you here, though, Jovan. Thank you for joining me. Maybe Shannon is here now. Here she is. So nice to have you here, friend. Man, I'm feeling for you, friends, today. I'm really feeling for you, friends, today. I woke up kind of in a desolate state. You know, one of those states where you slept, you slept, but you want to sleep more. And I don't really like being in that state because I like doing things, I guess. This is one way to say it. Well, our plan is working 2 days in a row. I'm just as surprised. I'm like happily surprised though. Thank you for joining me, brother Ryan. So nice to have you here. Joy, I see you. I appreciate you sharing this space with me as well. Even Gateway Process in her meeting right now. Yes, highly important meeting. So, today's topic, maybe I'll wait a little bit. I'll wait a little bit before we really dive deep into it. Maybe just settle into the space a little bit, see if I can find myself a stick to scrape with. That'll do, big. And that'll do. Hello, Rambler. Man, friend, can I just tell you what a pleasure it has been to see your username, Rambler? Right? Like, I don't know the fullness of your being, dude. I couldn't. I couldn't, but I see you. And I appreciate seeing you, friend. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today? How's life been treating you? Have you noticed? I guess I should eventually, bring the topic in. Have you noticed how you get to influence things with mind? You know, have you noticed? Have you noticed how things have been influenced by mind? How things are being influenced by our understanding of mind. Good morning, brother Isaac. I think you would like today's topic that we're going to be diving into, man. It's nice to have you here. How are you? How's Jazzy? How's Scott? How's the family doing, brother Bear? Man, there's like this little fruit fly that is up in my face. It's been up in my face since I sat down. Please, dude, if I catch you, I'm gonna kill you, dude. I promise. Don't invade my personal space. He was in my hair a while ago as well. Getting caught in curls, like prisons. I feel I feel a little bit ridiculous already. Today's stream topic is a little bit one of those out there ones, one of those woo woo, little bit too much to interpret. What does it actually mean type of vibe topic. So love is true. Yes, Melita. Melita, so nice to see you too, friend. Love is true. Love is true. Oh yeah. You heard that? That bird is like sick. Gang gang represent. I feel like when I was sleeping, I was in a dream like state the whole time. I'm shaky this morning too. Interestingly enough, Shan, over the last week, all of my dreams started coming back again. I was not dreaming for months. Well, for months. It was like a month of no dreaming. And then last week, I watched a show called, is it The Sandman? It's just The Sandman. I think it's The Sandman, and it's basically about dream the endless. That the dreams are technically a whole world of their own that serves humanity, and there are these godlike entities that reside over these realms. And when I started watching that, all my dreams started coming back, and I was like, bruh. Excuse me, what? Why is it like this? And I feel it kind of ties in perfectly with today's topic. Gobbledygoo. Meow. You. Thank you for joining us. Even brother Brandon, what's good in the hood? I mean, that little burb is singing the most beautiful song. Gang gang. Like he's really going for it, and he's being unique about it as well. I haven't heard songs like that. You wanna give us another one? Please, sir, sing us the song of your people. Yes, he added some flair on that last bit. Like, I'm pretty sure he's singing a unique song every single time. That's the thing that's tripping me out. Let's hear if it's different again. 5. Every single time it's different. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another. He does have an oscillation. He is influencing my mind. He's influencing the electron field. So, I guess there's no time like the present. We can talk about today's topic. Today's topic that I want to bring to you, friends, is the understanding of matter. But more specifically, the understanding of matter in relation to its electrons. You know, the fact that we are technically, also not, technically mostly empty space, you know, and the way that we have been imagining atoms this whole time is like planetary atoms almost, where there's this center, you know, protons and neutrons in the middle, and then these electrons flying around them. Where the understanding that we're entering now is that they're fields, you know, that those electrons are moving so fast, they are creating a new state of existence almost, if that makes sense, right? So like watching a stick spin really fast, right? To your mind, it starts to look like a perfect circle, even though it's just a little stick spinning around and around and around. Okay, I think we're starting to form imagery in our fractals. So going on from that, thinking about these electrons and about like just basically all matter, as instead of these planetary systems, something in the center with these electron fields surrounding it, these planetary systems are basically like the gravity point, and these electrons almost become these wave-like fields melting around these things. And that wave-like field takes up 99.9% of the mass, of the energy, of the stuff in that space, in you, in everything around us right now. And if you think about the way that our brain works, the way that our neurons communicate with one another, it is again through electrons, where we pass electrons through synapses, you know, through our brains to kind of figure something out, come up with something, say something to someone, and to kind of like extend that into this understanding that these electron fields, and we know this, like these are things that we're doing in quantum physics right now, where we have these quantum physics randomizers, right, where something collapses into a 1 or a 0, and it's supposed to be perfectly random. And then we put a person in front of that random quantum generator, and we tell the person, and like the randomness, right, gets outputted in a graph. So a perfectly random graph will be a perfectly straight line. Then you ask the participants, human participants, to think, I want the graph to go upwards. Then the quantum systems in our world start to shift from being perfectly random to choosing an upwards trajectory, where the randomness stops, it breaks down. That quantum reality, as we understand it right now, collapses with your thoughts, or expands with your thoughts. And that we should really start to take almost responsibility, I feel, is a word that people don't necessarily like, but I feel responsibility is the right word. To take responsibility for the way that we influence fields, everything, our fields, you know, the fields of existences around us, the people that spend time in those fields with us, our plants, our pets. And it's a little bit much to kind of to think about, right? Because there's so much of it. Like if you could see all of the stuff that's going on at all times right in front of your eyes, there would be too much for you to do anything at all. So we have already dumbed, I don't know if dumbed down is the best word to say it. We have limited the amount of input to the point where we can process as much as we can right now. But to realize that we are influencing this world in ways that we cannot even process, and to try and process the fact that we cannot process that shit. How about that? How about that for a thing to feel? How does it make you feel? Do let me know. It's nice to have you here again, Brother Brandon. Thank you for dancing, Gab. I'm doing well, Meld. My thoughts definitely affected the world around me. That's why I like starting my days out melting. Oh, Rambler, you flatter me, friend, saying stuff like that. Thank you. Thank you genuinely for that. I hope that my presence, these streams have at least influenced your thoughts in a way where you go through your day thinking more positive thoughts than negative thoughts. At least it's been that way for me. You friends allow me more positivity than negativity in my day-to-day existences. So thank you, Rambler, for allowing yourself that one, and secondly, for allowing me that with you being here. I just finished Sandman. Loved Death. Me too. Death was so cool, dude. Like I actually cried. Like apart, like Shaviv, that scene where she was walking with her brother from person to person to person to person. Like literally taking their lives. That was like the. I don't want to spoil anything to you, friends, but she goes from person to person, taking their lives, and she mentions like just I'm tripping out just remembering it. Even of course, you love that as well as much as I did, JV. It makes me happy to see that. But she shared this understanding that the gods are here for the people, on a very visceral level, and the only thing that we want in this world is a smiling face, kindness. We want a sense of gentleness, even in dying. And then she does that. She goes from person to person, like helping them out of the world of a smiling face. And I broke out in tears, Joyviv. I broke out in tears because I felt like she was doing the job I have done in a way, like I felt such a sense of resonance and recognition in that role as well. We're here for the people, friends, on a very visceral level. We're here for the people. We're not here to make a certain amount of resources. We're not here for the technology. The technology helps, the resources helps. But on the most fundamental of levels, we're here for the people. Thank you, Joy V, for being here for the people, friend. God was getting down. I'm glad you're here. We are actually gonna get down, dance a little bit. The speaker is behind the streaming setup. I'm doing well. I mean, I say the speaker. I should call her away. She was like giving me some flack for a second. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking, Mel. My thoughts change my world. It helps starting my day, Mel. Thank you again, Rambler. Thank you so much for the day for sharing. Definitely. Success through sustainability. Never create something that doesn't maximize the space it occupies or its surroundings. The rule applies to analog and digital. I'm not sure about that, brother Brandon. I'm so sorry, man. Never create something that doesn't maximize the space it occupies or its surroundings. That would, make a lot of people not create anything at all ever because it's impossible. It's like it's impossible even for us, brother Bay. Like we can't maximize the space it occupies or the surroundings because it goes into infinity, right? So even if we figured out, how to cause abundance to the point where we literally bubble Dyson sphere our entire planet, and there's only love within that bubble, then suddenly there is all of infinity outside of that bubble, which is not being occupied, that isn't being helped. So should we not have started the bubble in the first place, share love with everyone in the first place because it couldn't occupy the full surroundings, the full space? I think I get what you're saying, and I'm probably going too deep into it in the way that I usually do. But I feel create even if it doesn't, even if you're not showing it to anyone, creation, like I can take this piece of grass and tie it into a little knot of itself, and even though it's not going to occupy any more space, it's not going to maximize the space that it's occupying. Maybe it is. Maybe that little knot now is maximizing of the space that it occupies. It is still a creation, and I have done it. What I mean is time and space are precious. We can create selfishly for personal gain or collectively for infinite growth. Okay, I get you. I get you, brother Bear. I feel if you extrapolate far enough, technically you cannot, you know, ever really create for selfish or personal gain. Not ultimately, because you'll die eventually, you know. So everything that you created, even if it was for selfish reasons, will be given back to the whole. Something that you've taught me, Uncle Becky, you know, that I don't know. I mean, sure, human beings have said these things, you know, forever, but I think I heard from you for the first time where you mentioned we cannot keep anything. The only thing we can take is this breath, and even that we have to return. But the bear, you know, is it selfish for you to take a breath for yourself, for your personal gain of oxygen molecules? Or are you doing it for collective infinite growth? Are you choosing to continue breathing so that you can participate in this whole, in this community, if you will, right? It's all a matter of perspective if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of it. Who are you breathing for, friends? Are you breathing for yourself? How dare you? Bloody Red Muffin! Hello to you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Even Maxine, so nice having you here with me. Good morning to you, beloved friend. How are you doing? Our intention, affecting electron fields, you know, to show up with such gravity, with such certainty, with such intensity that the actual electrons that flow through your neurons will end up inadvertently influencing everything, everywhere, all at the same time. To you, friends, to your power as an influencer in this world, thank you for influencing me. Hmm, that felt nice and gentle. Ooh, electron fields. This is a trippy topic to me. I kind of have always tried to think of things as interconnected and interdependent as well sometimes. You know, one thing happening here influences everything everywhere. But in this context of electron fields, in the context of quantum physics, that is actually the truth. You know, on a quantum level, your molecules, every single one of the atoms inside of your body, is connected to every single one of the molecules, atoms, everywhere in space. Like this is understood, you know. This is how it is in quantum physics. That's why it's difficult for us to make, you know, normal physics and quantum physics kiss, because they are vastly different. Dropping pebbles into the field of awareness. Electrons. Electrons. Hello from Mary Iguana. Hello to you, Mary Iguana. It's nice to have you. General, vague, profound sounding statement. Yes, I am insightful. Yes. I don't know if I am today, Brother Bear. I don't feel my goal is to be insightful today. My goal is to feel. My goal is to notice how I influence things and to try and course correct based on what I notice. Thank you, though, Brother Bear, for sharing your insights with me too. Sending some productive thoughts, finalizing the community bid and submitting in a little while. Uncle Becky, thank you for doing what you do, Brother Bear, for building this community. So fucking insightful. The bestest, isn't it? Everything is touched. Everything is touching something. Everything is touching something. Hmm. I was trying to find a way to dispute that statement, Cavendish. Not because I don't, you know, want to agree with you, just because that's what my mind tries to do when I hear things. It's like, how can I make this the truth and a lie? And then it's within that truth and within that lie, I get to find information for myself. And the way that I wanted to like bring it is like planets, you know, planets floating in space. And I was like, well, technically the planets get touched by the light of the star and is literally within its gravity well. So is that being touched? And when I kind of thought about gravity wells, I was like, well, in that case, everything is being touched by something, and not only being touched by something, but everything is being touched by everything at all times. Dark matter separates us. I don't feel dark matter separates us. I believe dark matter is the medium into which we grow, Uncle Becky. So we separate dark matter. Literally. You know, and this is something me and my friends have been talking about as well, you know, like when we're in person, is this understanding of dark matter. So dark matter is one of those things that's kind of ethereal slash people don't know what that's supposed to mean. So I would like to try and explain the way we understand dark matter right now. And it's basically just mass, you know, like the universe as we have it right now, the Milky Way, right? You see that beautiful white stretch of light across the sky. That is us literally staring into our star belt. So the little disk that forms around the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy, we're staring into that disk, and then we're seeing that white line across our sky. So we are in that disk spinning around a massive black hole. And what you would think, at least with the way that we understand mass around stars, for example, is that the further something is away from the center mass point, the slower it moves, you know, to make the same amount of, or to this longer it will take to make the same round trip around the center point. So, in other words, the way that you would want to or expect galaxies to move if things were just the way that we could see them to be, right? Like the matter that we see is what there is. If it was like that, then our galaxies would spin super fast in the middle and they would spin super slow at the edges. But what happens is there is like a collective, almost like viscosity that happens within our galaxy spins, which means that not only do the stars in the inside move at a certain rate, but the stars on the outside move in a rate that is relative to that rate. So they kind of go like that instead of this one being like and this one being like yeah. They kind of do this. You know, they have this drifting effect. And the only way for us to make sense of that behavior, and this is well known, this is what our galaxy does. The only way to make sense of that is if there is 5 times more mass than we're seeing. Excuse me, what? Yes, there is in fact 5 times more mass in our universe than we can see. And that mass we call dark matter. It's like a placeholder. We don't know what that shit is. We don't know. But we know that it's there and there's a lot of it. So what I have believed, what I have kind of practiced, entertained within my own field of understanding, Uncle Becky, is that there is dark matter permeated through space. And then matter is basically like and that's why things are round as well within space, you know, it's because it starts from a center point or it condenses into a center point, but it extrudes outwards into a planet. And then from that planet, it extrudes these little beings, bipedal human beings that can move themselves. So we are quite literally moving through and in dark matter right now. All of us stirring dark matter, separating dark matter. As soon as we touch one another, dark matter gets squeezed out between us. What do you think about that? Uncle Becky, what do you think about that, Brother Bear? Maxine saying, I'm doing okay. I just woke up, lots of dreams, and trying to process the trauma of being in the waking world. Thank you for showing up for another day, Maxine. Your strength is acknowledged and appreciated. I see you, friend. If everything is if everything is something, what is nothing? Everything. Right? If nothing matters, everything matters. If everything matters, nothing matters. And it's all about what you want to see. When you think of us, do you see our little snooze bouncing around in your head? Not really, Joy V. For me, it's more your words. You know, the things you've said, the type of person you are, that kind of bounces around in my head more so than the snooze. Dark matter is whatever is on my son's car floorboard. Probably as well. Yes, Dash. Oh, Cavendish. Thanks for smiles and laughs, friends. Thank you. King of the North. Billionaires. It's nice to see you too again, friend. How are you doing? Hmm. Or me a blur. I feel sleeping. I'm shaky this morning too. Sending you more love. I'm excited. I'm good. Bored out of my mind at work. Excited for the topic. Jasmine is good. Home with the fur children. Having a good day. Sounds amazing. What do you think, Isaac? What do you think about the stuff that I shared, friend? Speaking of the power of thought, the background of my phone says if you don't like what you see, you can always change your mind. Hmm. If you don't like what you see, you can always change your mind. I like that. The burb is vibing into your energy field, and I am vibing into his or hers. She's not there anymore, but we got to share. I still don't remember my dreams. I don't either, but I know that they were very much there. That's great, Isaac. Happy to hear it. We done took my dreams. Yo, Shad. Thank you, Melita, for the love. Wow, I'm so early. You're here, Nova. It's nice to see you, friend. Meet more. Is this where I go to make profound statements? You get to make profound statements wherever you want to. A different car just showed up to our house. Oh, man. You know what? I'm not even going to get into it. Add it to the book. Everything is touching something. Well, the profound statements one, I'm missing a little bit. Sorry about that, Isaac. My mind is a little bit scattered as well. God, I did the book. How you doing? Cartha! I'm at my new job right now, so I can't stay, but I wanted to spare some good energy with some good people. Cartha, brother Disco, dude, what a pleasure to see you. I've been thinking about you so much, man. How's life been treating you? How are you? How are you, dude? How's the new job? Everything is a vibration. So are you. Please no Sandman spoilers. Recently started it. I'm I'm so sorry, Melita. I'm only now reading. I mean, I don't know if I did spoil anything. Technically, I didn't. You know, you'll still have the full experience. I won't share anything critical. Hope you've been well, Mel. Even better now that you're here, Cartha. You've been missed, friend. I like went on a whole loving spree, and I couldn't find your contact detail. I don't have you on Discord or anything. Head hurts, still sober. Where's my refund? He was just like, what is this? Why is my mind melting now? Oh, you were listening to Melt more, weren't you? I was like, yeah, but I'm tired and kind of meh. Happy to be here though. Thanks for asking, Gob. How are you? Hey to you, Untitled, Kartha. Well, thanks. Making it for one day to the next. Aren't we all, Gob? Leave tomorrow's problems to tomorrow. Hello. Is- Any nieuwe car? Okay. Bly is tenminste nie iets erger as dit, nie? Man manifesteer. Dis klein probleempies, ek seker. My mom had some car troubles, so our car is in. Happy that she got to actually drive something. Big jokes. I find that when we focus on that responsibility, we inevitably cause ourselves a more enjoyable life. When we focus our intention on as many choices and actions as we can always make the best out of them. Beautifully said, friend. I generally feel impatient. Me too, Gob. It generally doesn't serve me either, right? Like I've never been impatient and then felt afterwards I'm happy that I was being impatient. Like there's nothing to grasp for, really, at the end of the day. Even who needs tears joining us. So nice. I got a remedy for impatience, Gob. There we go. Gob, hit her up, dude. Get some of that impatience treated. Finding fulfillment in the process itself, watching wind, brushing trees, and allowing simply that to be the point is a fun practice. Even watching a ceiling fan spin, yes, there we go for the bay. And it's you eliciting information from noise, as it always is. Presence and humility. Keep it simple, Simon. Alan Watts talked about it at some point, comparing it to art films, where you might have a solid long shot of something like paint peeling or traffic or the ocean, and it seems like such a subject. Great Master Gabi give Master Gabi a sock. Free Master Gabi. I mean, I feel what you're saying, Brother Isaac. You know, to be able to be in awe of just what is, right? Like to see it as the universe solving equations right in front of your eyes. You know, if wind plus tree, then sound, you know, blowing in the wind, etc., etc., etc. So the universe is solving for all of these equations that it's integrating, all of this complexity, all of this turbulence right in front of your eyes. And it's the most complex math in the universe, and you get to understand it in a place of beauty, in a place of awe, looking at it. Ah, freaking cool. My dogs keep playing tug of war with my dirty socks and ruining them. I mean, that takes a whole new approach to where is my socks hug up, you know? Not like where is my socks, but my dogs keep destroying my socks. Normal physics and quantum physics can't. They're trying. Like, they're so desperately trying, Melita, but they're struggling. I'm good. I always find some piece of clothing or furniture ruined when I wake up to a guilty pup. We are a beach where people build sandcastles, tides being time washing away the forms of the past. Yet, every wave bringing more sand and less, all goes away, all comes back. Sometimes I play with the idea that we are dark matter, that we are the space that holds the universe, that dark matter being awareness itself, which makes the manifestation thing interesting. If dark matter is consciousness, it would make sense, our influence on things that we cannot see. You see, Brother Isaac, I'm so happy that you're here for today's topic, man. I knew you would appreciate it as much as I did. Mm. How about that? You know, and this is something that we have shared as an understanding on the stream before, you know, that the fundamental force of the universe is awareness, you know, that ultimate presence. And that presence can almost be seen as a well, you know, a point of gravity that gets met, you know, like a concentration. And that can be seen as the ultimate density through which everything else can arise, you know. It's from that density where a well can form for gravity to be in the first place. And then if we are technically as individuals that gravity well, being that infinity, being that intersection of dark matter with matter, then yes, what you think about the world, what you think about yourself and the life that you're living will in fact become manifest. Sending love and light to you too, Diana. Thank you for the love. How nice of you to join us. Thank you, friend. Thank you for your support on Patreon. I will be dancing a little bit, you know, saying thank you to you again. Just woke up. Dark matter separates us. You think? Head bouncing around. Loves King of the North. They show antimatter in the Sandman episodes. Not sure if dark matter and antimatter are one and the same. Antimatter, I don't think, is the same as dark matter, because antimatter tries to find matter and then absolves itself of existence as soon as it does. I like how I just said that. Yes, it's like, oh yes, I am existing as antimatter, and then it like viscerally searches for another piece of matter to cancel out with. It wants to destroy itself. Meaning is a human construct, as a human conscious construct. We create ourselves when we start to become aware of our existence. If we didn't feel, think, or feel, we would just be animals. I'm pretty sure animals feel, and I'm pretty sure animals think as well, though, friend. So, are animals less than animals? Because they don't think and feel in the same way that we do? 1.0 says, you ever see your bedroom with your eyes closed? My third eye opens every night and morning when I'm half asleep. Just saw the red numbers flashing on my digital clock. 1.0. I mean, yes, but I do it intentionally, consciously, right? Like when I turn my light off, my room is still in my mind's eye, so I can still walk in my room without bumping into things. Right? I don't know if that's what you're asking, or are you meaning like a sense of astral travel where your consciousness is outside of your body, witnessing your room with your body in the room? What is the topic? We were talking about dark matter, technically starting from the point of electron fields. The fact that you are mostly electron field, right? Literally. And I don't know if that makes sense. So, if you want to really see it, the amount of mass that there is within an atom is like basically a baseball, like a football in the middle of a football field, where the electrons could be found anywhere on the football field with the protons and neutrons in the center of that football field. But those electrons move in that football field so fast that they can be seen as waves. They can be seen as kind of like functions of flow, right? Instead of just like singular points. Did I focus pas in die huis nog gevlieg? Oh, you didn't. That little bird is being a little bit of a daredevil. Looked like he flew into the house for a second. What language? Afrikaans. Where's your doggo? She is probably being a little doggo on her doggo adventures. I've been okay. I'm waking up with a lot of anxiety. Me too this morning. Diana, keep showing up, friend. Just got body slammed with a positive energy. So much love. My daughters went to school today. It's the first day, and I'm a Pisces. The shootings have me messed up, to be honest, my loves. Diana, sending your daughters so much safety. I literally see like a black, like a dark entity with these angel wings, kind of like folded over it. I don't know if the dark entity was supposed to be your daughter in this imagery, or maybe all of these shooters, people that might be considering shooting other individuals to really be hugging them with a sense of white light. Whew, Diana, so much love to you, friend. Sending comfort your way, Diana. I've been waking up a bit of a tense, dreaded state. We feel the woes of the world and help shoulder the pain. We're literally, right? Like as individuals, literally shouldering the pain of the infinite. Carrying in our own hearts, with like a place of empathy, place of compassion. And by continuing, by staying alive, by still showing up every single day for yourself, for love, you are literally helping the universe resolve generational trauma. The trauma that we're inducing onto ourselves right now, you're helping resolve as well. Adding to Isaac's comfort send. Thank you, Jovan. Oh wow, I understand, Diana. Sending you love. I'm a Pisces too. Two Pisces in the space. The water sign. Yeah. I empathize with your public school related anxieties, Diana. I wish things would be better. They will get better. They will get better, but the bear. I feel like this is literally, the end of the dark ages where people are so separated, people are so distraught, so hurt, so scared that they don't believe themselves to be a part of this whole, that they want to take themselves out of the whole by taking others with them. Not realizing that there is no such thing as being out of the whole. You cannot be outside of infinity. So, even though it doesn't make it any easier to deal with the deaths that we have experienced, or to, you know, deal with the atrocity of certain human beings' actions, everything within infinity. So, you've seen the Stone Ape Theory video on After School, right? Yes, I have. So, what if during the change from primate to what we are, that the brain growth due to our spiritual communing with mushrooms? I'm guessing you're still saying a little bit more, Isaac. I'll wait for the rest. Here we go. Allowed us to become sensitive to the currents of dark matter. We gained an extra sense we did not know we had. I mean, technically, you could argue that we've lost senses throughout our ages as well that we used to have. Like we used to rely on different senses, like human ability, like certain creatures on our planet, and they believe that human beings at one point as well could literally detect And some animals, as I mentioned, still can literally detect the magnetic fields coming off of our planet. Like, if that isn't trippy to you, that's electron wave functions. 99.9% electron wave function. Go and search what that means, friend. Maybe it will fascinate you as much as it fascinates me. It's not fair. You get all day to think these really deep thoughts, get most of us are just waking up to get our minds melted. I mean, Joviv, I feel in a way that that is exactly the way it's supposed to be. I get to spend my day contemplating these deep feelings, if you consider them deep, these feelings, and then I get to share these feelings with you, friends, as like a as I felt as like a, I felt it out, and I'm like, okay, yes, this thing that I've been feeling can be worth feeling. Let me give it to you, friends, and then you get to go through your day feeling for yourself in a way, solving, influencing the electron wave functions of yourself and of the universe by feeling, by thinking about these things. Have we discussed neutrinos? I don't think we have discussed neutrinos. Maybe we should at one point as well. Oh, this topic makes my brain go burr. Last time I talked about dark matter energy fields, I was tripping balls at 3 a.m. of a bud, and this topic sent us to a dark place. No pun intended. The way that I make it not dark for myself is to believe that me as a human being is literally stirring dark matter right now. Like my movements and my mind is literally influencing dark matter. That's why I dance. It's literally me stirring the dark matter of the universe. I'm an asparagus. I'm a Sagittarius, but it doesn't change our perspective, Shannon. Love you so much. Thank you, Diana. Yeah, Gobus asparagus. Becoming less in tune to nature itself, as animals are born in tune to weather and the adjustments of our planet, we are in tune with cosmic forces outside of our planet. Isn't that kind of trippy, though? The fact that we as human beings have this ability to imagine, to travel interdimensionally, basically, and that's, a function of our beings almost, something that we can do, a sense that we have, as you mentioned, Brother Isaac. Jovan, Isaac, Melty, thank you all. Thank you, beloved friend. To everyone, not to get too far off topic, but do you believe in determinism slash no free will? It always helps me understand where people are coming from. Gateway process, that's a good question. And I feel it's one of those that don't really have an answer. And no matter what answer people give, it might not be satisfying. But the way that I have come up with an answer to that question is that technically, there is no such thing as free will within infinity. But because of infinity, there is only free will for infinity. And that might sound paradoxical, but it's basically this understanding that within infinity, everything within infinity can happen, right? So literally, an infinite amount of perspectives, an infinite amount of possibilities, an infinite amount of times, an infinite amount of different decisions, an infinite amount of moments into infinity will continue resulting into infinity. But because of that, the edge, the spear tip of that infinity will always be infinitely unique in and of itself, which means that in this moment, you being here are the spear tip of that infinity, living that infinity right now. And even though what I'm doing right now might happen again, might have happened before, I still get to have free will and do things that might have been unconventional. Maybe that fractal has never been experienced, but now it has. Now I have used that sense of free will within the infinites that I've been, within the infinites that I will be, to be the infinite now. Diana. Oh, but what gateway process? I hope you like that one. I'm a carrot. There we go. Is it the natural evolution of space travel? Maybe. Maybe. It's interesting that you say that as well, because the mushrooms try and teach you how to build spaceships. How about that, Isaac? You're like, yo, please, dude, have some technology. And you're like, what are you? What's Oh, I'm not a rocket scientist, dude. They're like, fuck, dude, this isn't the right one. They so desperately want to get off the planet. They want to go to different planets. Today is full moon. Tomorrow is full moon and a super moon. So much power at the same time. I like carrots. That explains more. Maybe we have to become sensitive to dark matter because if we go into space, we have to be ready to ride the waves. I feel if we're going to really go into space, we'll probably do so using dark matter in one way or another. You know, like if we could figure out how to manipulate dark matter, we could create gravity wells in front of us and then travel in gravity wells instead of having to travel with propulsion, which means you have infinite degree of movement without any propulsion and technically without, I mean, I don't know how things survive on the inside, but if you know how to make gravity wells within dark matter, you probably know how to overcome inertia and momentum as a body. But yeah, like we're trying to figure that out. I think if we're gonna properly travel, space, we're gonna have to try and figure that out as well. And again, us being able to figure out that there is such a thing as dark matter is already a step in the right directions. Back and joints have been aching. Mine too. Weirdly, like my elbow, my knee, my lower back, and my wrists have all been wrecked, Diana. Gateway, yes, I do. I don't believe I'm controlling anything. I'm just experiencing a weird, coded simulation. Gob. Puts in some Meltmore codes. Have some happy, dude. Have some happy, have some abundance. I eat carrots and asparagus pretty much daily. There we go. Get healthy. But I do enjoy Melty's interpretation. Brother Bear. I appreciate you being willing to share that with me, dude. Being willing to share your interpretation of my interpretation with me so that my interpretation may change based on the interpretation that you've had of me having an interpretation of you having an interpretation of me. So many carrots in my body, in my belly. I wish I could send you a pic. I wish I could send you a pic of you. Me, a pic of myself. I have you in my kitchen now. I love it. Thank you, Diana. Love you. I'm in Diana's kitchen right now. I can feel it. Sending vibes into this kitchen. All the food is suddenly becoming 50% more nutritious, 32% more tasty, 27% more filling. Where am I going with this? I'm sorry, Diana. Thank you for shooting me in, friend. I share my carrots with my huskies, and I see bits of carrots in their poopies when I scoop them up. Thank you, God. Thank you for the very visceral imagery. I want to snack. I mean, I also wanted to snack Isaac until Gob. I'm grilling Brussels sprouts and baking sweet potatoes. You're all invited. I can't stop trying every time I come to see you. Diana, let it all out, friend. Melt all of that pain away, leaving just you, your awareness, this moment, the love that we feel. Thank you. Thank you for letting yourself cry. Really lifting my mood right now. Love you. Shannon, I'm so happy to hear that. Sweet potato is my favorite. I'm coming, Diana. Yeah, I'm coming. You please. Florida in your thing. I always cook so much. You friends are melting me. Me more melt code. Melted my code. Now I want to smoke weed and dance to Citrons. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I want to smoke weed and dance to Citrons. What are you doing to me, Gob? Starts scooping weed. Starts playing Citrons in the back of my head. Hacking my code. Oh yeah, you're gonna hack my code? I'll hack your code with hacking my code. Imagine I failed. Oof, I imagine a failed gravity well going really rough. Oh yeah, just getting spaghettified. It was just like straight up getting spaghettified. Mm. Yeah, thank you, brother Isaac. I didn't think about it going wrong, but now, now I am as well. Accidental. There we go. Black hole, human extinction. I mean, probably. We probably wouldn't want to be doing our first experiments close to home, but we probably will. That's the ironic part as well. I mean, I don't know. I think by the time we figure out, black dark matter or how to use dark matter for travel, we'll probably be quite a distance away from Earth at that point. Jovan, always welcome. Thank you, Diana, letting yourself be seen. Makes me think about white holes. My RAM is full. I can't process more, dude. For me, quasars. I mean, I think quasars are white holes in a way, right? They eject so much mass that they look bright. They become brighter than galaxies, 1,000 times brighter than a galaxy. Freaking quasars. If we get quasar blasted, everyone on Earth, like everything on Earth, we just get insta sterilized. like a laser. Everyone dead. Like in split seconds. I'm sorry. You see, I know it's terrifying, but the fact that that is the nature of our reality, that there are things in our reality like quasars who are basically consuming matter into a black hole, and as they're consuming matter, that matter becomes faster and faster as it spins around this black hole, and then some of that matter starts to escape, creating these lasers of basically plasma lasers beaming out of these things. And if that plasma laser hits a planet with life on it, everything dies instantly. That's the nature of our reality. And yet here we are, alive and well, breathing. We get to share, crazy imaginings with friends. We get to smoke weed. We get to watch sunsets. We're going to get to dance. We have so much to be grateful for. So many electron fields to be influencing, electron wave functions to be put dropping little pebbles into. What's the intention? The first one was wave functions. I think the second one was dark matter. Thinking about Toasty as I slurp that smoke down. Toasty would be proud of me. Now I need to find a place where my bong is gonna stay. Excuse me. Thank you, Brother Ryan. This guy Melt is out of this world. Check out his Patreon. Thank you, Brother Bear. I do have a Patreon. If you want to tangibly, financially support me, you can do so for like as little as $1. I create daily works of art, and then alongside the daily work of art, I also share what we talked about in stream. So you can technically watch the stream, see me as a reflection of a flower with the reflection of the stream in text. It's a whole paradox to me as well. Thank you, Brother Ryan, for letting me share. Doubt you spoiled anything at all. Is this live? Throw away, it is live, but you've sent that comment 11 minutes ago. I'm sorry for letting you wait so long. We have Maxine saying, Melty, have you ever practiced astral projection? I haven't practiced, but I've always been able to, if that makes any sense. Where astral projection to me is my ability to move my internal eye to a different space in a different time. I've never not been able to do that. I thought that was just what imagination is. I do believe that is what imagination is. Astral travel is just another label to kind of specialize. I don't know exactly what to use. We believe in stubbornism. Stubbornism. No, we don't. I don't even know what stubbornism is. Hello, open by. Joking. Love to you, Cavendish. So was I. Oh, there we go. We missed it again. She was being stubborn. How about that, Cavendish? I always have a hard time trying to get to sleep around the full moons. On a weird, biological level, our bodies might be coding for that, because like the full moon was basically like another day in our month, like we could stay outside and hunt during the full moon. So maybe there's some sort of primal energy being awakened in you, Maxine. Thank you for the energy you're giving me. Damage control. Love to you, friend. I've seen my friends ruin their lives when taking Xanax. I'll stick to my cannabis. Yeah, I think that might be better as well. It's just addictive, unfortunately. So many things. So many things. Human beings have been addicted to a lot of things for a very long time. And I feel the biggest thing that makes me sad about addiction is just the lack of information we have, right? Like the reason people get addicted to things. I feel, and this is definitely naive, and I completely accept that as a criticism, but I feel the reason addiction is as rampant in the world right now is because of miseducation. Like we're not given proper understanding. Like the way that I understood drugs as a child is that drugs is like anything, anything that is not a normal base consciousness. So cigarettes was drugs to me as a kid, alcohol was drugs to me as a kid. And there was a certain sense of fear, and still is a sense of fear in me, where I'm like terrified of the idea or the archetype. I don't know if it's an archetype, but that picture maybe of becoming an addict, where I need something in order to stay alive. And yet there are people on our planet who are still alive because they had these things. They went through so much pain, be it emotionally or physically, that they needed to do things in order to not feel that pain. So it brings it back into this understanding that not only am I not any better, but maybe those people are even stronger than I am. Even though they're making use of some sort of chemical to reduce the pain that they're experiencing, they're sticking around regardless of the pain they're experiencing. And this is not me trying to say that it's okay or encourage it at all. But I feel it is important for us to come to a level of awareness when it comes to these things. Like, addiction is a big problem in our world right now. A lot of people face that. I face that. Coffee is something that I rarely go without. Marijuana, as of late, something I rarely go without because I don't have to, right? It's again this circumstantial experience of doing certain things because it what helps me be in the way I am right now. But unfortunately, we don't realize that there is a backswing to that as well, where we end up creating a scenario where we are that way now. That it might have started as a means to mitigate pain or reduce a certain level of suffering within life, but then inevitably becomes a point of suffering in life. And it's a difficult balance to reach. I feel it's the difficult balance to reach. And we all get addicted to one thing or another. We all worship one thing or another. We all strive to one thing or another. And my thing has become love. As like this ethereal, almost like, to me it is that, again, gravity point. So the basic understanding of it is that there is ultimate awareness in the center of existence, right? In the center of the infinity. And that ultimate awareness only is willing to receive from a place of love. Otherwise, it would be closed off. It would be nothingness. But instead of nothingness, there's an openness. There's a duality that forms, right? Of an observer and an observed. And there wouldn't be an observed if the observer didn't try to observe from a place of love. Otherwise, there would just be darkness. But because of love, there was. And from love, there is you right now in this moment. And it's an idea, it's a feeling, it's a drive. It's where the whole statement of love is true comes from. Might be something I'm addicted to as well. Oh, no surprise, Melt. What? Melt is addicted to love? No, no, you wouldn't say. Yeah. Is it bad? How is it influencing my electron wave functions? I do hope, I do like to believe that it's influencing it in a positive way. You got mail. Dude, too long. What? I like antique stuff. I haven't spent too much time with antique stuff. I don't not like antique stuff though, open mic. This topic is intense AF. My brain feels like AML dial up trying to process it all. Let yourself melt more, Maxine. There's nothing to understand. Just let yourself be with it. The first time I did it, I fell asleep, not believing it was real while trying to do it. It was such a surreal experience. I woke up, shot out of bed, super confused, thinking there was someone else in my house. The first time you did Xanax? Goodness. That just sounds like a lack of an experience almost. And then coming back into the experience and extreme anxiety. I'm happy that you got to have that experience from a perspective of knowing that there is an experience to be had, but also realizing that it's not necessarily an experience you want to keep having. You got mail. I don't have an addictive personality, and unfortunately, I have multiple family members that ruined their lives of drugs. So many great examples of how not to be in life. Yeah, man. Like I hear what you're saying, Maxine, and the first thing that coming to my mind is, how do I help someone that struggles with something like that? What can I say? What can I do? What can I give them that would help? And it's such a difficult question to ask of myself, like I'm like, bro, no, how am I supposed to? Thank you for making me think about it still, Maxine. Cardiologist, love to you, friend. I could totally hear the robotic voice saying that. Hey, Truth. Hey, missed you melt. Here's to maybe one day tripping together. I'm looking forward to it. A dream we dream together becomes reality after all, Truth. I feel that people are born addicts. That's an interesting take. And they go along in life until they try a substance that switches on and into active addiction. Hmm. So this is the way that I interpret it, Joy Vive, that we aren't necessarily born addicts, but that we can have a genetic predisposition to becoming an addict. And then on top of that, depending on the certain environments we found ourselves in, upbringings, experiences, these genetic predispositions can become more or less expressed. So, in maybe as a person is born of a predisposition to pain, like maybe emotional pain, like pain in the body, if it's emotional or physical, is kind of like determined slash stimulated by the opioid receptors, right? Like you experience pain and then your body releases these opioids naturally at first, right? Like that's how we kind of have the system to regulate with that pain. So as a child, maybe you were abused and you were abused over and over again, maybe verbally and physically. So in your brain, in your upbringing, your body upregulated for the amount of opioids it needs actively. And maybe in this genetic way, you were predisposed to needing more opioids on a base level as well. And then you try an opioid, maybe you were in a car accident and then you had like a bad back and you were prescribed an opioid. And then for the first time in your life, suddenly that hole in you gets filled. That experience, that suffering, that trauma that you've went through in life over and over and over again, that pain over and over and over again, that kind of like pulled you in a certain direction, contorted, made like torsion on you. That thing kind of like relieves that tension. And then it like what I believe about these substances is that when you have an experience like that, instead of believing the experience, the substance is the thing that allows for that tension relief, realizing that there is tension to be relieved, and I feel the reason I gravitate towards psychedelics is because on a bodily level I've been very blessed to not experience extreme pain, and I thank I feel like I'm not being grateful enough day to day for the amount of blessings I've received with my body. And I feel for that reason the whole in me became serotonin based, instead of opioid based, where I I didn't lack dopamine. That's why I'm not too concerned with stimulants. Like things that give me dopamine don't really draw me. Things that give me like opioids or I've forgotten the chemical name. Doesn't really matter. But serotonin is the hormone that we experience when someone smiles at us, for example, right? If I come up to you and I talk to you like this, you might feel a certain way about me. But if I come up to you and talk to you like this, you might feel a whole different way. And the reason you feel a whole different way is because of the difference in serotonin in your brain with those two different experiences. And everything in our, I believe, everything in our nature, this tree, the sunset, another person's face, releases levels of serotonin. And you can influence that level of serotonin depending on the information you kind of build on top of it. It's like it gives you noise almost, and then you have to elicit information from that. And psychedelics just gives you more of that noise, gives you more of that in your brain. And then you have to try and figure out what's real. You have to try and figure out what is truth within ultimate amounts of noise. And I feel like, yo, I'm experiencing some growth and understanding about myself right now, just talking about this. But it really is this understanding of self that can be reached when we use plant chemicals, right? Because opioids, technically, the poppy plant is a plant chemical. It can be used for medicinal reasons. It can be used in a respectful way. And in that usage can show you things about yourself that you can then course correct, you can then work on within the self to try and make that better. But because we don't have proper education, because we don't teach people these things, we don't teach people intention, we don't teach people how to use things with respect for their body and for the plant medicine, people become addicted because they believe the plant medicine is the thing that gives them something when it's you. It's always you. I love you, friends. Thank you for being aware. Thank you for being so aware. I feel if you don't drink coffee or smoke cannabis to enhance your quality of life, that is not addictive. I don't go through withdrawals when I don't have it, and I don't ever have an intense wanting for it. Okay, I agree with that as well, Maxine. You know, if I have to go without it, it's uh, it's a non-issue for me. I'm just noticing a use pattern, right? Maybe my interpretation of addiction is a use pattern more than a physiological response to the use pattern. Because if I discontinued the use pattern I'm in right now, I wouldn't have a problem continuing being myself in that, which might not be the case if I was really an addict, if that is a way to think about it. Thank you, Maxine, for sharing with me. It's an Echo 15. I was taught to always make extra. I'm old school. Food. That's so nice, Diana. Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday, God. We're gonna be dancing soon. Wednesday dance day. Yeah, yeah. It's a fact Wednesday, my dudes. It is in fact Wednesday, dudes. Here's bass thumping in the distance. You know, like that techno Viking, just like aggressively walking into the dance floor. Diana, I think I have just met you, but I love you. You and I am a dog. God, it's so freaking beautiful. Quasar equals God. There we go, dude. Ultimate power. I mean, it's one of the most. It is the most powerful object or thing in our universe, right? So as close as we would get to a god level entity, a quasar would be that. The chiropractor showed me an MLS laser machine, and my goodness, I don't understand them at all. Unfortunately, Brother Bay, we don't have to. Some people will get to live a life where they get to be that individual in your life. They get to be the fractal of the swam lasers, you know, for your chiropractic practices. Yes. I wish I could hug you all. You are Diana. Thank you for that hug, friend. I appreciate that so much. First off, it's a cold laser. Like, how does that even work? It also causes cells to heal faster, nerves to undo damage, muscles to unknot. It fights inflammation. I mean, we've known that red light can do that. So it's probably just like a very low frequency red light laser, that as like its amplitude boosted, which means it can maybe penetrate deeper. She showed me her thumbs, which had a gauze in it just under a week ago. It was totally healed, no marks or scabs, all thanks to the magic green lasers. Hmm, interesting. Dude, the future of medicine, bro. Frequencies. So what's wrong? We're like sound, light, and maybe like direct vibrations as well. Sound technically is, but we can even go deeper. I mean, me too, Shannon. I'm like giddy right now thinking about this stuff. It is just light controlled in a very specific way, and yet it does these things. I'm going to try and dive deep into the research, and I'll report back, please. Humble soldier of information, go and dive deep for us and bring back the nuggets of wisdom. Dude, the future of medicine is light. Doesn't that sound exciting? Continue living, friends. Good things are coming. So many good things are coming. I feel bad. Is that weird for the shooter? No, Diana, because you know that the reason they are like that isn't from a place of happiness, right? They're not gleefully, going on and shooting people like, ah, wouldn't it be nice? Ba, ba, dum, ba, bum." I'm sorry, I shouldn't be making light of this at all, but they are experiencing extreme levels of dread in a day-to-day level, to the point of a breaking point where they cannot handle even existing anymore, where they hate themselves and their lives so much that hate of self and life is projected onto life itself and everything that is living. That is an extreme amount of pain to be living in. I don't think it's weird at all that you feel bad for them. Unloved and rejected. That is what usually happens, Diana. Hello, puppy. You want to come and sit on my lap? Hmm? I mean, I was still an 18-year-old, but I didn't go shooting nobody. And Brother Gob, maybe we weren't pushed far enough, or maybe we were stronger, dude. Like, I don't know. I'm just happy that we have gotten past that point in our lives as well. It's very easy to critique when you have a good support system. I'm not in any way justifying these shooting. Just a mother, and I feel I've never felt. As a mother, I feel he never felt love or hope. Exactly. It's not like I. And again, I don't want to resolve them of any of the blame because they still made decisions and were conscious agents in making those decisions. But if they were living in a society that valued the individual the way we should be valuing the individual, I don't think they would ever have gotten to that point where they would make decisions like that. So I feel these school shootings are more a symptom of society than they are, a symptoms of the individuals who are doing these things. Like they are to blame, but I feel society at large is more to blame than anything. I don't think it's weird to feel bad, Ayana. Thank you for sharing that as well, Shan. There's a wonderful line from a song I love. Two disenfranchised young criminal minds in a car park beside where your nan resides. They're not slow, they're just never been shown. They should be loving someone. Mm. Two disenfranchised young criminal minds in a car park beside where your nan resides. They're not slow, they've just never been shown that they should be loving someone. Yo, dude, goose bumpers. Thank you for that. It's true. People don't know, and it's perpetuated through generations where people don't know, so they don't know what they're supposed to know, so they don't know what to teach their kids, so their kids don't know, so they don't know what they're supposed to know, so they don't teach their kids. And we're finally breaking those patterns. We're getting to a point in our society where we're finally breaking those patterns, actually. We're better at loving and showing up in here. We've shown, dude, there's a Marcus Aurelius, I think it's a Marcus, no, it's a King Solomon quote that goes, as steel sharpens steel, so does friends sharpen friends. And I was like, yo, yo, When I read that quote, I was like, yeah, dude, yeah. King Solomon was one of these Bible characters who God favored and asked him, what would you want out of anything? And instead of asking for riches or power, he asked for wisdom to lead his people to the best of his ability. And one of the quotes that came out of this beautiful man's mind, if he ever existed, if he wasn't just anecdotal, even if it was anecdotal, whoever wrote the story came out of his mind, which means these words came out of his mind as well. And one of these quotes as steel sharpens steel, so does friends sharpen friends. And I instantly felt all of you friends in that moment with me of the amount of sharpness in our topics and the things that we talk about and the depth that we cut with, right, into the infinity has just grown. And if it wasn't for you friends, I wouldn't be as sharp as I am right now. So thank you for sharpening me, for letting me sharpen you. I'm addicted to water. Damn it, I'm addicted to air as well. Oh, damn it. Oh no, I cannot go without the air. Oh, dude, please. I'm an addict. All of you air addicts can't even go 2 minutes without breathing, huh? Freaking junkies. Or better loving sis. Again, thank you for the very addicted to water. Oh crap, I have a crippling addiction to breathing. There we go, you also did it. Literally can't stop. Somebody help me. Freaking God. I'm an alcoholic, friends. I'm a switch that goes off. It's a switch that goes off. Maxine sending love. 100% present genetics. Even though it isn't your genetics, it doesn't define you, Diana. And I know you know this. And I know that you have been transcending these barriers as well. I look forward to seeing you continue to. We've all been better at hate if we've been in a space giving us hate. The loss of self love is a tragedy. So is the loss of life. Absolutely. Absolutely, Brother Bear. And how right are you, dude? Like, if we found ourselves in a society, in a community that was like perpetuating hate, like, oh, we're gonna go and, show them. We're gonna go show them how serious we are about this hate we have. And then that's the community we're in, and we're like, yeah, then we would just get better at hating, but instead we're like trying to get as good as we can at loving. Thank you, Brother Bear, for sharing that understanding as well. I didn't start until I was abused for 12 years. It became a security, a Superman cape. I didn't fear him. Something you needed to do to survive, Diana. Literally something you needed to do to survive. Yo. And again, to notice that as a part of self that can be worked on. And I hope you're not in that state anymore. I believe you're not in that state anymore, Diana. You deserve so much more. I'm so proud of you, Diana. Not only have you faced this, you understand it as well. The idea of someone hurting my friends makes me want to hulk out and not be a hippie anymore. Oh yeah, dude. Like there's like 50 frames in my mind where I was like a visceral murderer. And then I was like, oh yeah, peace and love. Stay positive. You are incredible. Yes, you are, Diana. You're an incredibly strong friend. Thank you, friend, so much for your support. I left him 4 years ago, but I still wake up in fear. Whew, Diana, as we keep showing up in this space, this is something I wrote in my manifestation journal yesterday. I wrote, as we keep showing up in this space, our trauma, our fear, our pain will be melted away. Day by day, year by year, decade by decade, as technology, genetics, the internet evolves along with us, we're going to melt away all of the pain that we have kind of built into ourselves, built for ourselves. This fear you're waking up with, Diana. One day you're gonna wake up overjoyed, not only not scared, but excited to be in another day. And I look forward to like you tuning into stream being like, Melt, I woke up not being scared today. And I'm gonna stand up and dance for like 10 seconds. I look forward to it. So much love to you, friend. Stay hippie, motherfucker. Yeah, 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 yeah. Beautiful set of friends to have. No, you. Isaac, reflections of you, friend. He's not worth our energy, but you are, Diana. We're just showing you how much we care about you, friend. He could have killed me. Whew. I'm happy you're here, Diana. I will. I know these people aren't just wasting a gift to love, to hate instead. A pointless and dark venture. Manifesting a massive hug in the future, friend. I love that. Thank you, Isaac. Whew. The hugs we'll share. Every single one of us, friends. It's gonna be crazy. Like, there's gonna be so much stuff going on in our heads at the same time. I talked to an aim with my grandfather. They were so hip with it. Could hear the robotic voice. I hope for a world of no stigma about addiction, only love. I believe that's the world we're moving into. And I think that's the thing I'm trying to do in myself as well, Brother Babe, to acknowledge the ways that we still feel about it as individuals, and then to notice how we can steer it towards love. And I see you doing it, Brother Bear. Thank you for doing it with me. Truth saying, some people are definitely predisposed to addiction, but it's all in what circumstances or experiences you have encountered. Thank you, Brother Bear, for echoing. Like, that's perfectly, in line with what we said as well. You're bringing back a flood of nostalgia. Good. Feel all of it, Maxine. Addiction to love is the best drug. There we go. Absolutely. The just say no generation was almost reached the shelf life. Luckily, yeah. And they were still trying to just say no us, in my school, Uncle Becky. Like, I was terrified of drugs, dude. Like, terrified. Excuse me. Then you're not addicted. Absolutely. Might as well face it. Red, you're addicted to love. Ah, damn it. Ah, intervention. Everybody sits me down. Like, Melt, we have to let you know that you're, in fact, addicted to love. And I'm like, oh no, what are they going to say next? And they're like, good job. Huh? Yeah, and also this is a surprise party. Yes. Yeah, yeah. First time I astral projected. I think that I missed the rest of the message. You might tell us more though, Maxine. If you want to melt, you could tell me something to draw, and I could throw it to you tomorrow. Any suggestions? Let's see if the universe wants to give us something. Okay, I see a snow globe on, like, it looks like a mountain actually, and the mountain has these carved steps into it, and the mountain is like made of some beautiful marbles. So the carved steps has these kind of like textures in it, and then it's just this dome. It's like this beautiful globe. It might be crystal, it might be like just solid crystal, but it looks like a dome. It's now completely clear, but it's like on a mountain. So, like a crystal ball, like this is, I think, the finalizing of the idea is a bit massive crystal ball on a mountain with like beautifully golden made, textured, kind of like stand, if you will, right? Carved out of the mountain. And then like these individually carved or like cut out of the mountain stairs, long stairs, very long. Well, not that long, kind of long stairs, long stairs really being cut down. And then as they're cut, you can see the beautiful granite, rocky textures. How about that, Truth? Have some ideas to draw, friend. What I learned from astral projecting was the places I went. I have plenty of time to enjoy after death. I am to be present in this stupid body, in this reality, and learn the stupid lessons from this stupid society. Yes, God, that is exactly what I found as well, Brother Bay. Literally. And for me, it went as far as where I smoked dimethyltryptamine to make sure I do not travel astrally. And then the last time I did that was on the 22nd of, you know, February of this year. And I smoked it. And instead of going through the normal process of kind of closing your eyes and flying into infinity, I opened my eyes and just spent my entire trip looking at my room. And then Pippi came up. And then I had Pippi join me next to me. And then I pet Pippi while I was sitting in the room. And I was like, guess I'm not supposed to be anywhere other than here. Here now for this experience that you are having, friend. Thank you, Brother God, for understanding the same about your life, friend, for showing up for it. You've already helped by creating a loving environment for all of us to be our authentic selves in. Maxine, thank you for creating it with me, friend. The opinion, dude. I bought a $3,000 Gucci shirt yesterday, loving seeing the jealousy in the eyes of poor people in my neighborhood. The opinion, dude. All I'm gonna say, I don't even know if I want to say it. Like, you know, my mind is being torn apart. Am I being loving in sharing these words, or am I being hateful in sharing these words? I feel I'm being hateful towards you friends who the words aren't directed towards, because you might want to hear what it is I have to say, but it would be unkind towards the person who I say them to. I like the thing I wanted to say, like the thing that initially came up to me is don't get stabbed. Right? Not from the perspective of, oh yeah, the poor people are gonna stab you. It's just like if you're doing that, and you're feeling that way about it, I love seeing the jealousy in the poor people's eyes, then me as a poor person wants to stab you. The opinion, dude. Why, dude? If you have $3,000 for a shirt, dude, you know, please help the people in your neighborhood. They're in your neighborhood. They're in your neighborhood. They're the people around you. They're you. They're the versions of you that didn't have the same opportunities that you had. And now you're reveling and seeing jealousy in their eyes, watching yourself. And I think that was jealousy. I think so. I mean, yeah, I'm like worried about your safety, friend. I don't know if you're, taking care of your well-being long term, living like that. Oh goodness, I feel spicy. Maybe a little bit spicy. When you die, you can't take that shirt with you. You and those poor people will end up in the same ground. There we go. Exactly, Maxine. And you could have, helped those poor people before you ended up in the ground. Those poor people could have lived better lives, which means the infinite, right, as awareness, would have lived a better total life as a result of you. But instead of doing that, you reveled in making the total infinite life worse for the fact, you know. The infinity is gonna stab you for that shit, dude. Mama Nature is a little bit of a savage, dude. Like she's just like a straight up, a little bit of a psycho for love. She'll kill you, dude. She'll kill you lovingly. She'll melt you, turn you into goo, turn you into flowers afterwards. Poor people aren't jealous of shirts. Keep your jealousy to yourself, poor people. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. Okay. I feel you're like playing a role at this point. Some people think they are slaves to their genetics, while genes are affected by environmental factors. That's true. That's true. Truth. But I have been very humbled as of late in realizing that sometimes our parents made decisions that influences our genetics, and that there is nothing that we could have chosen to change that, and that we have been dealt what we have. And a lot of people get dealt what they have unjustly. And we're moving into a future where we can actually help them now. That's the thing that I want to at least, look forward to. Some people think. There we go, Joe Dispenza. I'm going to skip a little bit to the present. I think there's someone. What did I see? 777. 777 on my screen. There we go. I did expect miracles. All sending miracles to Shan right now. She loves herself some 777. Hey, Miss Dabs is here as well. Akon Becky said, actually, steel doesn't sharpen steel. You have to keep your stone free of metal to be effective. I'm pretty sure you can sharpen steel with steel with a beta, can't you? Like we have multiple like steel sharpeners where it has like two hardened steel overlapping blades that you drag a knife through. Stopping by. Melty, I was letting you know that I didn't take Xanax. I was describing my first. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Maxine. I was spacing a little bit. That $3,000 could have been used to feed so many people. That's the first place my mind went to as well, Maxine. Like, literally the first place. Like, $3,000, dude. Yossi. That's a bunch of meals, especially for people struggling to make ends meet right now. Infinite is always strapped. You better watch out. Oh, yes, dude. The infinity. Mama Nature doesn't fuck around. I'm happy you friends are tuning in with me, tuning into that. It's a little bit out of character, but it is the way it is. Love is true, but Mother Nature will love you to death if you want to death things without love. Right? She'll be like, "Oh, you sweet child. How about you sleep forever?" Mother Nature being like, "Yes. What are you doing, little one?" Contoons. Nice to have you, friend. I don't think I've seen your username before. Hey, it's Truth of the Light. There we go. It's nice to have you. Contoons. But the truth. So much love to you. I'm trying to get to this present moment because we still have to dance. There is still dancing to be done. Do I want to point us in that direction for the dance? Look at the moon behind me as well. You can see it. Oh, sorry about that. There you go. Been in such a place of support this whole month. Every single day, during the day, I'm seeing the moon. Thank you. Tomorrow is going to be a full moon. A super moon, in fact. We'll have to do some manifesting. We'll dance for the moon too. Dance of the sun setting behind you. Okay? Manifest and you shall have. Manifest and you shall have. Thank you, moon. Thank moon. Thank you. There she is. I'm so happy to share it with you. Thank you, friends. I'm gonna point you towards the. I mean, the sun has set, but the colors are only going to get more and more red. Yeah, it's gonna be vibey. It's gonna be so vibey, super duper vibey. Ooh. Let me see. This thing's level. Yes, brain happy. Brain happier. Yeah, level enough. Gonna go give water back to the universe. Alrighty then. It's no time like the present. Man, the world we live in, huh? Pippi is always so excited to dance with you. She's genuinely amused to me. Joy Vive, like the amount of stuff she's taught me without saying a single word, like word is actually astounding, honestly. Thank you for enhancing me with your energy. Feel like a wet blanket today. Oh, Jovan, we love you, beloved friend. I'm gonna dance. I do think I'm gonna have to end the YouTube stream. Maybe I'll pull a card first. I'll pull a card first. Then I'm gonna take my phone out, connect it to my speaker, say thank you to the Patreon friends. Dance. Agenda. Yes. I was gonna say, what about a card? There we go. Thank you. I felt it. I felt the energy in the ether. I was thinking the energy stuff from the start of the stream. Love you. I'm so happy to hear that you friends are feeling a little bit better. Like I've been feeling especially hard on myself in the morning hours. Drink enough water is the only thing I can really recommend. That's the thing that's been helping me as well, is really trying to drink enough water in the morning hours. Other than that, make sure you this one. Ooh, Jovan, of course. Card number 34. Of course. This is, I think, the second card I ever pulled for Jovan. The first one was Octomotion, and Gentle Spirits was the second. And I remember I pulled this card, and I had what I feel was the first time I was ever actually meditating as I was reading this. It was like actually a little bit visceral, like one of those life-changing experiences. We get what we need when we come here, Zhao. I love the reminder that we don't end the day where we start. Never do. Always evolving. Always getting better. I drink at least 30 ounces of water before noon. Fantastic, Shan. I feel like that has been the best remedy for the morning hours of feeling like that. Then I drink as much water as I possibly can. Like usually about 2 liters, like in the first 2 hours of being awake, and then it's almost like I have like a boot up toad in the back of my brain, getting a little bit better. I just polished off my 40-ounce bottle. Time to refill. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Love you, Fred, so much. Thank you for joining me on the Hit Soups. Okay, actually, we have to read. We have to read. Yeah. I'm sorry. Love the vibe. Water's more important than gold, literally. Like, unironically, literally more important than gold. When we figure out how to properly desalinate the oceans, we technically already did with the whole dome method, but hopefully we can extract gold from the ocean water as well while we extract fresh drinking water. Hoo-ah! Gentle spirits and simply being. We find within this image the number 5 in the geometry of the pentagon. Within this 5-sided polygon appears a star that speaks to us of excellence, protection, and divine transcendence. The star of this card, I cannot read right now. Goodness, I'm like tripping out reading it. The stars of this card are 5 green sea turtles. They glide gracefully through the pentagons, reminding us to be gentle with ourselves and to be present in the moment. With peaceful grace and presence in the now, these gentle spirits ask you to consider the importance of simply being. The pace of the modern world seems ever faster, demanding that we accelerate our capacity to accomplish more and more and more and more. Most people believe there is not enough time to get everything done, not enough time for ourselves. This card, this card invites you to relax into this very moment. Meditate, doodle, daydream, and simply be. Resist the urge to get up and do something or feel guilty because you are not. Give yourself permission to let your cares and woes fade from consciousness long enough that you may see into the moment and feel peace. Pause. And in this pause, allow your body mind and spirit to deeply enjoy the excellence and of simply being. You may receive messages, and that is fine. Or, with a bit of luck, you will genuinely be able to simply be. And we did pull it reversed, Jovan. And I feel you're going to be like almost giddily smiling when you hear the reverse meaning. The reverse meaning is your monkey mind is running at full tilt. Blow out the chaos and simply be. Thank you for melting with us, Jovan. Thank you so much, beloved friend. Cheers, friends. Cheers to you, Gab. It's crazy how little we used to drink back in like medieval days. So thankful we have the abundance. There's. Cheers, Gab. Shannon. the universe. The universe looks straight at Jovan. It's like, yes, Jovan, I see you. Jovan is like, no. The universe cannot not see you, beloved friend. Carth, all the friends had to have added substance to my existence. You're all protected in my heart this day and the ones to follow. As are you, Brother Isaac, holding you in my heart, Brother Bay. Thank you, Isaac. You inspire me, friend. So grateful to know you each and every single day. You friends. Oh, a quick drive by. Even our beloved Lane. Dude, I was thinking about you yesterday. I was missing you a bit, man. How are you doing, dude? Love. Love to you, Lane. Peace and love. Love you, Brother Bear. We'll chat again soon. Maybe you'll catch us up a little bit. I'm gonna pour you into a glass and drink you up. Brother Isaac, careful, dude. People want to absorb your essence, so want to take your wisdom. You know, if I eat Isaac, do I become as smart as me and Isaac? You know, sooner or later, I'll just have to come and melt all of you. That sounds horrific. I'm sorry. Let's pretend I never said something like that. I'm thinking about it from this perspective. I don't know if any of you watched Heroes. There was this bad guy in Heroes who would literally, like, he had some sort of like knack for understanding how things work. Like he was a watchmaker or something at first. So he would just like open people's like superhero people's skulls and mess around in their brains, figuring out how their powers work, and then you gain their powers. I'm sorry, I don't know where my mind went there. I don't want to mess around your friends' brains. You friends mess around in my brains enough as it is. Just like the monkeys in Midnight Gospel. Exactly like the monkeys in Midnight Gospel. Oh goodness, Maxie, you're tuning in, friend. I appreciate it so much. I feel I needed to read this. Pippi's always excited. I'm looking forward to it. Tyler! Man, Midnight Gospel. I hope to actually meet Duncan Trussell one day as well. I would love to do stuff with him. I think you friends would like to as well. Isaac, I'm gonna pour you into a glass. Instantly melted down and consumed by Gob. It was much more horrific than I thought in my imagination. Yeah, as soon as you start to picture it, you know, as soon as you start to words, and you're like, oh goodness, what am I saying? What am I saying? What is happening right now? See you on the Reddit for the dance time. Thank you, Shan. Thank you so much. I'll see you friends again soon. I love you on the YouTube. We're gonna dance on Reddit. I'll say thank you too. I love you. See you again soon. Cheers. Let's get back.